You're listening to the Outside the Jersey podcast with Alex Plates. On this episode, we have Mya Berkaman, who is a professional basketball player overseas in Greece. Originally from Marble Falls, Texas, she went to Liberty University to pursue her academic and collegiate career. We dive deep into her background and learn a little bit more about what she's like outside the Jersey. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Outside the Jersey podcast. I'm joined by Mya Berkaman here from the team name is GAC Eunikos. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes.
Perfect.
Evnikos.
Okay, I'm leaving the pronunciation to you. She is from Liberty University, played D1 basketball over there for 5 years, and her hometown is from Marble Falls, Texas. She had her degree and got a master's in accounting, and had numerous awards while she played there. She was two-time All ASUN first team, 4-time All ASUN academic team, the 2021-2022 ASUN Scholar Athlete of the Year, and she currently holds she's second all-time in offensive rebounds for Liberty and 7th all-time in points and double-doubles. Mya, thank you so much for joining me today, and tell me what you got going on.
Nothing. I'm just following God's plan, living my life. I was so blessed to be in this situation, and I'm just super excited to continue my journey.
Cool. I know this is your first professional season out in Greece, and so I know you just got there. How long have you been over there for?
I would say 3 weeks. I think I just finished my 3rd week, going on my 4th week. So.
Gotcha. And what do you like to do in your free time right now that you're fully a professional athlete?
Yes, I'm a real chill person, so I love playing video games. I have a PS5. I brought it with me in my monitor. I also watch Netflix. Obviously, I just finished Suits, amazing series if you haven't watched it. And I like to do puzzles and stuff.
Okay. What's the hardest puzzle or the most amount of pieces that you completed?
3,000. Me
3,000.
And my old teammate Nana. Yeah, we conquered that one.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine that. I guess transitioning back into basketball, what made you fall in love with basketball when you were still growing up?
I think I got into basketball, I think when I was seventh or 8th grade. And I really just started because everybody said, everybody was like, oh, you're tall, you need to play basketball. I was like, okay, I'll try it. And so I tried it and I started to love it. And then I think just being around it made me fall more and more in love. And then watching it and seeing all of the things that go along with it made me love it even more.
Did they also throw you into volleyball because you were tall too?
Very much so. I had a chance to play volleyball in college, but I quickly shut the offers down because I was like, I'm not playing volleyball in college, but I really appreciate it. So
I just joined a beach volleyball for the summertime with my coworkers, and it was kind of intense. I didn't know that there was a lot of movement going on.
Very much, and the sand makes it so much worse.
Yeah, you're telling me. I can't even imagine how it was for you playing at a actual organized level. You know what I mean? Speaking of basketball, since you fell in love with the game, what kind of impact has the game of basketball made on you?
For me, I came up from a really rough background, so it was kind of my escape. It was a thing that I can other than God, that I can always rely on. I know that once I stepped on the court, nothing mattered at the time, no matter what my situation was outside of school or outside my home situation. I was able to put that all aside, even if it was just for a couple of hours. So it really meant a lot. And then it also allowed, I knew that was my way out. I knew that was my way to a better future. And so I knew that from when I started high school. And so I think that allowed me to treat it differently, or hold it more importantly to me.
That's really cool. That's really special. And though you just started, like I said, this is your rookie year professionally, and you've had a shortish career, what has your favorite memory been so far of playing basketball?
Can I go to college days? Can I go back to my
for
college
sure.
days? Okay. It would actually be our win against Virginia Tech. I think it was my fourth year playing, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe my it was my third year. But they were pretty like disrespectful. Like most of the players weren't warming up. They were like treating it as a very light game. And then we all knew that Kit Lee, she's an amazing post player, but she needed 9 more points to make it to her 1,000 points. So we were taking it personally that they were like kind of disrespecting us. So instead of them rolling over us, which everyone thought that was going to happen, we beat them by 19. And so that was just such a great feeling. And then we also held Kitley to only 7 points. So I think that was just a
Nice.
great, and it was just a great team win. Everybody was for everybody. Like I fouled out, and I was still so invested in the game. Just seeing everybody like come together and play great basketball, and then beat an amazing team. It was really fun.
And that's the most important part of all that, I feel like, was that you held her and she wasn't going to score that her 1,000th point against you.
Exactly. And it wasn't even just me. It was literally every post player that stepped out there because Coach Green was real big on like team basketball and just like not relying on one person. So I think I only played like 20 minutes that game. But Bella Smuda, she killed it and she's a great defender and Kitley found that out.
That's cool. That's dope, honestly. And so you graduated college after 5 years, and you got your master's and everything, and you chose to play professionally in Greece. So growing up in Texas to Virginia for college, and now you're living abroad in the Mediterranean. What? How has that transition been for you from playing college to a professional level now?
It's very different. Obviously, there's a culture shock just because there's a lot of different things and you're surrounded by people who speak a different language than you. Luckily, I feel like I've been placed in a really good situation where my teammates are all super loving and caring and they're like very understanding. Some of them don't speak super well English, but they try their best, and I like just appreciate where I've been. But as far as basketball goes, I would say the game's definitely more physical, which I love because I'm all about the physicality. And so yeah, you can just tell you're playing against like grown women. Like I'm not out here bullying anybody, even if they're smaller than me, they're still very strong. So that was one thing I immediately noticed. And then obviously the game just goes faster. Shot clock is 24 seconds, so that you have to speed it up. Um, but yeah, I just think I just have to fall into the different system that the coaches in place. But overall, I feel like still, basketball is still basketball. So at the end of the day, you put the
Of course.
ball in the hole more times than the other team, and you win. So
Exactly. And how's the weather over there so far this time of the year?
it's actually really pretty. It's actually hotter than I expected. I've been to the beach once, and it was amazing. I went to this little cafe that was on the beach, had amazing food and everything, and then I went in the water, which also felt amazing, and it was super blue and pretty. It's like what you see on like the photos, and yeah, it was beautiful. So yeah,
That's dope. See, I'm from New York where our beaches are pretty green, so
yeah.
I don't imagine that. I can't imagine
It
that.
was like you could. I was like 4 or 5 feet in. I could still see my feet. I'm like, this is
Wow.
nice.
That's dope. See, that's kind of like a picture setting, honestly. And so with you being abroad, and being away from your family, like literally halfway around the world, how do you stay grounded with that and being away from your family and friends while playing abroad?
Yeah, that was actually one of my biggest struggles. I was on the verge of not playing professionally, not because I didn't love basketball, but just because, like you said, I've been playing in Virginia for 5 years, so I've already like been away from my family for a significant amount of time. And I was like, well, here goes another 8 months, another year. So it was a hard decision, but like my parents are super supportive, and they're like, this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like, there's no way that you should give this up for 1 year. And I agreed, but it was just super hard because I have like younger siblings and I want to see them grow up. And I just come back, I'm like, oh, you're a year older. Okay, that's cool. Um, but I think technology has really helped, obviously, like FaceTime and just the ability to still stay connected that way. And my family does a good job. We have We have a couple of group chats. I have one group chat called the Berkman fam, and that's like with all of my family in it, everyone in it, from like, uncles and everyone. So everyone always keeps us updated. Like my uncle just had a baby like 2 days ago, my uncle and aunt, so that was super great. Um, and then and then we have a smaller one called Fam Bam, and that's like my intermediate family. And so that's where, I see if my sister like wins a gymnastics event or
Mhm.
or just various things. So I think that's a great way. And my grandma makes sure that I'm kept in the loop of things. She'll just send me like random text messages and stuff, which I appreciate more than she probably knows. She always sends me these like long messages like, hey, this is what's going on. And so, yeah.
No, I definitely feel that. My mom did the same thing when I first went away to college, and it was I didn't appreciate it because she used to do it all the time in high school. But when I was away from my family for a while, it actually did it mattered a lot, and definitely appreciate that for sure. And so now with you being a professional athlete, and this is your full time job, um, and you seeing the rise of women's sports, especially in the past 2 years, I would say, with all these big name athletes from college sports, and as well as recently even in volleyball, for example, like Nebraska just sold out an outdoor stadium playing volleyball against another college team, which is amazing. Um, in that success of women's sports, how what does that mean to you as a female athlete, as a professional athlete?
Obviously, it means the world. I think a lot of female sports get a bad rap just because we're not as athletic traditionally. But that doesn't mean we're not as skilled. And I think that's being broadcasted and being showcased all around the world, just various ways. And I almost think that that's why women have to work harder in like a different sense because we can't rely as much on our athletic ability to get things done. You have to have skill to be successful in a lot of sports. And I just think like, people like Caitlin Clark and various other people who are just like showcase their skills so well. And you can just see like, man, this is like her hard work is paying off. And I just think that, women as a whole are super excited to see where like women's sport is in like 5 years.
Yeah, and for sure. And that actually segues perfectly into my next question, which is, in your opinion, where do you see women's sports evolving in the near future, whether that be the next 5 years, 10 years, or whatever?
I just think I think more and more people are going to realize that it's actually really fun to watch. I've always heard that like, oh, women's sports are boring. I'm like, well, have you watched them? Because that's like not the case. Like I said, it's different. It's definitely different. Like men and women's basketball are different. You'll definitely see more dunks and stuff in men's basketball, but you still see the competitiveness and all the great things that come out of a game. So I just think the audience will continue to grow, and I think like as some of the rising stars become a little bit older, I think they'll take their audiences with them. So I think like people like Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and like just people who have brought in so much attention. I think they're gonna really help like the WNBA, and they're really gonna help like the next level increase their audience as well.
For sure, and I definitely agree to that. Like women's sports is very fun to watch. I think, like I recently, like probably in the past 3 4 years, I got into watching the New York Liberty since they're home right here in my
Hmm.
backyard. And honestly, I'll be honest with you, it's a lot more entertaining sometimes than Brooklyn Nets games. I mean, no shot to the Brooklyn Nets, but the Liberty, like they know how to play. They know how to play basketball. Like you want to watch fundamental basketball, that's the WNBA. I mean, it's a really cool experience, and I definitely agree with you. Like I'm super excited to see where the next generation takes us. Honestly, and you're part of that next generation, honestly. So don't count yourself out on that. Um, and my next question would be, what are some of those obstacles that you face being a female in sports?
Kind of going back to the same thing, I would say that probably the biggest one was just like not getting the same clout as um, men's basketball or as like men's sports in general. I remember one year we won like 14 games in a row and we didn't get anything, but like the guys won like 4 games in a row, then they got like so much clout over it. And that was kind of a hard pill to swallow, just because I was like, why are we not getting the same, like, why aren't people coming to our games and stuff like that? But then it's hard because you want to like attach that to like your success or like like your worth, but that's not it. That's not true. And like, it's just an obstacle that like most of us probably had to face. But then you just have to realize, one, you have to rely on God, and then two, just for at least for my team, we relied internally, because there were games that like we're at a weird time. It was on like 4 o'clock on a Tuesday or something. Like he wants to go to a game at 4 o'clock on a Tuesday or something like that. So we would have to rely on each other to like hype ourselves up, and that's one thing I loved about my team. Like you look at any game, we're off the bench screaming, like we're very supportive of each other, and I think that really helped out a lot.
That's so cool. That's so cool to hear. And everybody's experience is different, honestly, with that kind of stuff. And so now I want to transition to a little bit more of just quick icebreaker questions, just so like the audience gets to know you a little bit more. And so, what is your favorite topping on a piece of pizza?
Favorite topping?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, people are gonna hate me. I love pineapple on pizza. I love it.
Oh, you're the second person that
Yeah,
told me this
I'm
today.
that person. I'm that person. It makes the pizza. It does. And
I
ranch,
can't.
ranch. Love ranch.
Okay, ranch and pineapple. That's an interesting combo. I'll be honest. What is your favorite season of the year?
Um, probably spring, because it's not too hot, not too cold. Like especially because I'm from Texas, so our summer is like 120. You don't want to go outside. So spring
Mm-hmm.
is kind of like the summer in Texas from other
Gotcha.
places. So
Gotcha. What is your most used app on your phone?
definitely, it's definitely between FaceTime, if you count that, because I'm always on FaceTime,
That counts.
or and then Instagram for sure. Okay,
What
go.
is the coolest city you've been to so far?
I don't like, because Athens is separated into like smaller parts. Like there are different, like I guess it's between like downtown and everything. So wherever that beach was probably the coolest place. And then one of my teammates took me up this mountain. I don't know the name of it, and if I did, I probably couldn't pronounce it. But we went up this mountain, and then we got to see all of Athens from that mountain, and it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous.
Favorite Mediterranean foods you've tried so far?
There is this sauce. It's not real, but it's called tzatziki sauce, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
like five ingredients, but it's good on everything. They use it. They eat it with bread, with meat, and I was just going crazy. And everything's super fresh. They definitely make everything from scratch, and you can tell when you eat it. That I'm like, man, someone put their heart into this food, and I love, surprisingly, white peach. I didn't even know that that was a thing, but white peach is like probably my second favorite fruit of all time now.
Okay, I never heard of white peach before. Honestly, I
It's
might have to
literally like,
look that up.
if I bite into this right
Oh,
now, it's a white peach. It's white.
oh, so like basically like an apple inside. That's how it
Yeah,
looks. The
but
color.
mm, well, not this one's not white, but it's usually white, like right there.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that for
Yeah,
sure. That's
so it's
dope,
super
man.
good.
Different type of soil, I guess, or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but that
um,
that flavor is more.
I got two more questions for you.
Okay.
Um, what is your favorite video game you've played?
Not even close. Call of Duty, Warzone in particularly, the first one, which just got shut down on the 21st, which I almost cried, but it's fine. And so yeah, I usually play that game for like hours at a time. Um, I have two friends that plays, my boyfriend and then my friend, and we used to play like so many hours. It's like embarrassing how many hours I played that game. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
definitely.
That's cool though. That's cool. And then last but not least, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Um, I would say probably just don't grow weary of doing the little things. I know that sounds like so like probably like cliche or whatever, but especially like it even applies to life and basketball. Like for basketball, like you should never get tired of just doing the little things like footwork and stuff, because like even the best of the best work on that. Even Steph Curry, you see him work on his footwork, and I just think like the little things, that's what separates you from, or that's what makes you be good to great. And I just think always focusing on the, like, not taking advantage of the little things, or like, like a dumb warm up that you hate, still try your best to do it. And I think doing that over time will make you become a better version of yourself.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, Mya, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come onto the podcast. Where can the people find you on social media?
They can find me at, I don't even know my tag or anything. I think it's AYM_Mya. It's like my name backwards and underscore Mya on Instagram. That's basically all I use. So
I'll be sure to put that up on the screen for sure.
Thanks.
Well, either way, thank you so much, Mya, for coming on, and I appreciate your time again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much for listening to Outside the Jersey. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Outside the Jersey. Don't forget to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss an episode. Until next time.